What is up, everyone, and welcome to another daily market outlook. Markets have been moving very favorable and pretty much exactly in line with my thought process. So let's dive into the market, see what has been going on. Let me explain to you kind of the thought process behind the dollar index, these major dollar pairs and gold, and let's just see if there are any opportunities for any potential trades. And yeah, pretty much just starting off with the dollar index as per usual. So this is exactly what I mean with that range trading, right? So on one hand, we have the low. On the other hand, we have the high. We can see grab liquidity from the low, now grabbing liquidity from the high, straight away that bearish impulse in towards the downside. This is exactly how the market moves. Once we grab liquidity from one side, we can grab liquidity from the other side. And you'll see this on a lot of pairs, and I pretty much explained this as well in yesterday's video, but I just love seeing it time and time again. So currently what am I waiting for? Well, I'm waiting to see where we're going to see the next close upon. So if we do see a close above this white line, then this becomes your demand zone. Then we can look for longs from there. But if we just start dumping from here, then of course wait for those pullbacks in towards, let's say, this imbalance, and then a further short. So pretty much just waiting to see what the next few candles will do in this region. Are we going to see close above that white line, yes or no? Then we know, okay, long or short. For the rest, we're still inside an area of daily supply, so just keep that in mind. This could just purely be kind of like the liquidation move to then see kind of the real dump occur. For the rest, we also have, by the way, this kind of ascending trend line over here with the 1 2 3 4, and overall we have pretty much this wedge forming with a beautiful 1 2 3. So yeah, let's now see what's going to happen. Are we going to dump in towards downside or not? It's all dependent pretty much on how we react to these highs. Let's see if we can get some downward momentum or not. So yeah, that's pretty much it from the dollar index. Let's head over to Aussie dollar. So yeah, Aussie dollar, and we can see beautifully, exactly as I explained yesterday. Of course, liquidation over here on this low, kind of that initial move up, comes back down, and then boom. Let's see if you were to, for instance, just purely place an order on that area of demand, 66 pips, easy in the bag. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Aussie dollar. For the rest, let's kind of see if we can see some continuation in the momentum. I wouldn't enter again now. Kind of that initial move was pretty much the move that you wanted to be in. Looking at the lower time frame as well, what can we see? Yeah, so what's interesting is that pretty much I would say that this is kind of your high. We didn't see a close above that high because this high broke this low. So this is kind of like your impulse down, pull back, and then another impulse down. However, I want to get in. Why? Because we haven't seen that bullish trend change. We haven't seen a close above these highs. I would want to preferably see a close above it for then to look for long. So yeah, for now, just staying out of Aussie dollar. Kind of that initial trade has already taken place. For the rest, just keep in mind, okay, daily does look good for a sell-off. Why is that? Liquidation on this high. So guys, just remember, put an order on there, easy 106 pips. This is just the beauty of liquidation, and I've been telling you guys this for the past 3 days. Liquidation on this high, clean move over here will kind of cause a reaction. So yeah, let's now see what's going to be going on. I would just kind of wait on Aussie dollar to see where the market's going to be heading next. Kind of the initial move has already taken place. Then euro dollar. So yeah, euro dollar, as we can see, liquidation on the highs, now dumping back down lower. Like I said yesterday, still waiting pretty much for that one more move down, at least to fake out on this low. That's something that I would just love to see before then heading up once again from this area of demand, from the 50% mark, and from that liquidation low, and from that descending wedge. So yeah, that's the highest probability long that I see on the board for now. We have pound dollar. So yeah, pound dollar, of course, moving down lower. Yeah, for the rest, not really that interesting, I would say. But what I really like about pound dollar is, of course, the fact that if we keep an eye on that 4 hour and you took that initial entry over here somewhere, and you were, let's say, still holding it, you could have had a beautiful trade if you, of course, didn't put it to break even. I probably would have put it to break even over here once you're kind of like in that 90 pip profit region. But regardless, still seeing it push down lower is nice to see. what I would now look at is the daily time frame and look at, okay, where is demand situated? Demand is situated over here in this imbalance candle. So there is still room for pound dollar to fall down lower. Again, after liquidating this high, exactly the same as on Aussie dollar. Remember, liquidating this high, dump down lower. Pound dollar as well, clean move, liquidation high, boom, move down lower. It's as easy as that, guys. So now looking at the 4 hour, what can we see? So what's interesting to see and to note is that we reacted beautifully to this fair value gap over here. That's pretty much acting as an area of demand now, but let's say we do see pullback, we could see pullback in towards this fair value gap and then see, let's say, a sell down lower. Looking at the 1 hour real quick, 1 hour is now also confirmed bearish once again, so I would be looking for a further short on pound dollar, at least back down in towards this area of daily demand. That has my preference. So that's pretty much it for pound dollar. Not really clean price action on the lower time frame, I would say, but yeah, I would just keep an eye out for those, for those potential further downside shorts. This is, for instance, like an area of supply that you could keep an eye on. So just wait for liquidation to pretty much happen and then look for that sell-off. So yeah, that is it for pound dollar. Then Kiwi dollar. So Kiwi dollar still just the same. What I'm waiting for a push, let's say, in towards this daily demand zone, but still once again pretty much the same, right? Liquidation high, very obvious, takes out liquidity, dump down lower. You guys see it time and time again. Let me know in the comment if you find this kind of analysis helpful, because I think this is something that I've now been showing for a very long time now. We have a clean move and liquidation, dump down lower. Of course, like an exact entry model, it's very risky to just place an order, but still it is an option. Now looking at the market, I would say indeed this fair value gap is a very nice area to look for a potential further short back downwards. It's pretty much the area of supply that took out, let's say, this low over here. So that is that for Kiwi dollar. For the rest, not really interesting. Then we have gold. Gold, very interesting price action. Looking at the 4 hour, of course. So what we saw yesterday is, again, what I explained, waiting for liquidation on this low to then go long. So there was not really any opportunity directly after that liquidation. As we can see, not really any bullish candle closure whatsoever. Also on the 15-minute, nothing really. Of course, you kind of saw this semi-star pattern, but again, it's very risky. Why is that? Because the 15-minute is bearish, and this is the low, this is the high, and as you can see, let me see. Yeah, so look, this is the highest high, and we never closed above it. Yeah, so we never closed above that high, meaning that there was never a 15-minute bullish trend change. Because otherwise, let's say this would have been your demand zone, and then you can look for longs. But because the 50-minute is still bearish, it's very risky to just start buying on a random 50-minute star pattern over here. Therefore, what you want to do is kind of look at the 4 hour, for instance, for some more bullish price action. Or what you want to do is kind of trade from the extreme of the overall range. So what does that mean? Well, okay, this is your liquidation. So I'm not just going to randomly start placing an order over here on that liquidity low, right? So what you then want to do is, for instance, just place an order on the extreme, and that's the extreme area of demand over there, and then look for that long, for instance, back up in towards the highs with your stop loss underneath the low. And now you would be up around, what is it, 0.88 R for a total amount of 84 pips approximately. But yeah, really, really nice to see that we're reacting beautifully to this area of demand. So let's see if gold can now kind of continue to push up higher. For the rest, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll just be keeping an eye out on gold. Gold does look interesting to start pushing up higher. And once again, guys, look at the 1 hour. You see this liquidity low, obvious liquidity low, clean move after it. What happens? Takes out liquidity straight away, boom, reaction. So another reason to place your order on this low. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. For the rest, let me just quickly pop into GJ. So GJ is just missing out on my area of daily supply, still waiting for it to get hit. We are already in a fair value gap, but I would just love to see it push a little bit higher. Your yen is nothing at all. Didn't really see any bearish price action. Aussie CAD was an absolute beauty. Just missed my area of supply located over here for another entry, though, that would have been another entry possibility. as you then have pretty much that bearish price action going on with your fib over here. So beautiful 618. Yeah, now dumping down lower. Called this some time ago. As we can obviously see, just selling off from daily supply, expecting lower prices in the near future. Then let me just see, what else do we have? So yeah, CAD Swiss becoming more and more interesting in towards this area of supply. This wasn't a fresh supply zone anymore. We'll update some charts later today. I think, let me see. So yeah, pound Swiss is moving beautifully. You could look for a potential long upon a pullback. Has now seen a 4-hour switch in trend. Yeah, that's something I would like to keep an eye out on. Over here we have demand. Let me see, Kiwi CAD is now in demand. Could look for a potential long. Dollar yen didn't show any bearish signs. I explained this as well inside the community. As you can see, this was pretty much what I was looking at. Liquidation on this high. Excuse me. We didn't see any bearish price action upon the liquidation of this high. Also no kind of trend change whatsoever. Demand just kept on holding, and then you just don't want to be shorting. So yeah, that's kind of also the risk of just placing orders on liquidation highs. And that is pretty much it for today. If there are any interesting charts, I will let you guys know. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. Dollar Swiss is pulling back up. Let's see if we can kind of reach these higher prices to look for a short once again. Just gonna keep my eyes out for these dollar pairs mainly today. See if dollar or euro dollar, excuse me, can push down lower. So yeah, that's all. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic day, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.